What's up, my writing weirdos? Hey, it is me, BC, and we're here to do the thing tonight. We're going to write some words, we're going to chat a little bit, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. If you've got your writing questions, let us know. Otherwise, away we go.
It's showtime.
What's up, my writing weirdos? You know me, I am BC. We're here tonight, of course, to create magic with our words. And who's better than to create magic with words than another resident witch, Sako.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
Okay, so yeah, lots going on tonight. We're streaming to YouTube and Facebook, for me at least. And then Sako and I, as many people know, of course, Sako and I are working on the sequel to the book that we co-wrote live, all on stream, couple years ago now, called Flambeau, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Ta-da! You can find it. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. It's got to be in front of me because of green screen.
Oh, green screen.
Yeah. Green screen. But this is the first one, and we're going to be writing on the second one tonight. You can find this on Amazon. Yeah, pretty much just going to be doing what we were doing last week. I know that Rachel D. Adams is lurking for a little bit. I was glad to see her pop in here. She was like on here as soon as I came into the room almost. I was like, awesome. Cool gamer, hey, good to see you. Always good to see you. Sako, are we on your channel tonight too?
Yes.
Okay. So we are dual broadcasting to Sako's channel as well. So lots of places. All right, let's see. All right, so I was thinking we'd just do the usual 20-minute sprints for the night.
Sounds great.
Okay, cool. I'm going to jump right into it because I want to get the document open, but I've got to get some behind the scenes desk cleaned up real quick before I can do it.
Roger that.
Sound good? All right, everybody that is in the chat, let us know what you're working on tonight because it's fun, honestly. Tell us your whole synopsis. Talk us through your plot. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's all fun. Again, if you have questions, I have, let's just say 25 plus years of writing experience. I'm a hybrid published author. Sako has several years of writing experience, has publishing experience as well as marketing experience. So,
Yes, indeed.
and she's a fantastic artist. If you happen to need commissioned art. Her stuff is all down in the box below, so you can check out links where you can find her and her stuff, because you really should, and where you can find the rest of my stuff, but I'm easy. It's just BC Brown books, everywhere. So
Everywhere.
Everywhere. All right, let's get going. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Sprint.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep, beep. Yeah. You did it. It's fine. One of us did it. It's cool. Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. All right, y'all. What'd you get done? RC. So RC is having some difficulties with technology tonight, and wants to be John Connor and destroy everything. And I said, personally, I mean, John Connor's all right, but I'd rather be Sarah. And this is the response I get.
Yeah.
It's good, but you have to admit it, RC. I'm right. Sarah is cooler. Period. Linda Hamilton, cooler. Now, once we get into like the Sarah Connor Chronicles and like all the offshoots where somebody else is playing Sarah Connor,
Yeah.
not so much for everything. Now, there's some of them I like, but anyway, yes, this is the original comment.
I hear the Windows update thing that dropped today is causing more problems than it's solving.
Oh, wreaking havoc! What? I'm not surprised. Windows wreaking havoc, having an update. This is why I love my Mac.
Yay, Mac.
Yes. Yay, Mac.
It was too clumsy.
I don't know that it was too clumsy, but it certainly was. I don't know. I don't mind the T1000. It's okay. There are improvements. You're right. There are improvements. Never mind. I take that back. But okay, yeah. So we had a few people pop in, of course. RC popped in, and then we had RK pop in, which I'm gonna be doing that all night. I'm sure I'm gonna be getting that up all night. And Nikki come by to see us. Oh, Jenna wishing us well. We're so glad to see all of you. So glad to see all of you. I didn't get much done, so tidied up my desk.
I saw you type in. I might do some transition-ness.
Sounds good.
Because I see some scenes that we started in the middle. So I need to write the actual beginning of the scene.
Sometimes that happens. Yeah. But yeah, so some transitions would probably be really good. But yeah, I'm just working on that. So the first beat that we have in Chapter 8 with the council,
yeah,
we originally had it that Kyler was going to video call Lieutenant Brenner. But I have Lieutenant Brenner in San Diego on business.
Okay.
So I'm going to put in there that, like, thanks for fitting us into your schedule. And she's going to be like, you're lucky I was still here.
Mm-hmm.
So this better be important. Kind of one of those usual, the lieutenant bitchiness.
Bitchiness.
Bitchy. I'm going for the bitchiness, not the bitchiness, the bitchy. There's a big difference.
Yes.
I'm
Indeed.
like slap happy today. I had the last 4 days off. I had like a 4-day weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really nice. I needed to not do things. Although I did start painting a new painting for a friend. He sent us pictures of his new kitty. He got a new kitten, I don't know, like 8 months ago or so. And sent us an updated picture, sent my wife an updated picture, and I was like, okay, I'm just working on painting. So I'm working on painting from, not exact, because his favorite color is green, so I'm painting his cat in all different shades of greens and whites and, like stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's my first time, like, painting anything for them, painting their pet for them, or I've done, I've painted, reproduced, painted to study, like, other paintings, but
oh, sure.
And like trying to figure out how to do skin tone and stuff like that on my own stuff.
Mhm.
I never like that's all practice that I'm just going to probably paint over next time I need an available canvas. But
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to try and give away.
Take pictures of it before you give it away.
I will. I'll take pictures and post it, and hopefully it turns out okay. The base layers are turning out okay, but you know how it is when you paint, because like you start and it looks so terrible because you're just like, oh, good. All I did was like finger paint a few things in places, and so to add in the layers. I say we do another. It would help if I turn this thing off sometimes, but I say we do another sprint. What do you say? Yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna hit them hard tonight, apparently.
Mhm.
So, all right, we are getting started in 3, 2, 1. Sprint, y'all. as Sako's over there just dancing away. Just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. So I didn't do much on that sprint.
Either, but I did work a little bit on Peggy's description, just a little bit. And I might go into the sermon.
Sounds good. I'm gonna, keep rolling on this. I got distracted by my niece. She sent me, and she, text, and she's like, I'm so done with this baby. Because, she's still pregnant, and she's enormous right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just check in on her every so often, and then she's like, I am so done. I'm so done.
Yeah.
I was like,
she's about to pop, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. So they have her scheduled for a C-section. Hey, look, I remembered to do it immediately. They have her scheduled for a C-section on Leap Day. That's officially 1 week earlier than the 2 weeks. Like it'll put her at 39 weeks exact. So she's like 1 week early, which with the exception of my oldest sister, like none of us come early. All of us just hang out in there as long as we possibly can, free floating, chilling, free food,
Oh, I need to see something.
Good to see you, Heather. Glad you could join us. We just came off of our second sprint of the evening. We're kind of hitting them hard and fast. Tonight, we're doing 20-minuters.
Sorry about that.
It happens to us all. At least I'm not going to say it wasn't annoying, because it's me. But at least it wasn't the extremely loud beep of the timer,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so, my niece is pretty excited, but she's just like, I was like, so how are you feeling overall? And she's like, pregnant. Really fucking pregnant.
Really fucking pregnant.
So I guess her last check-in, she was saying that the baby right now, the baby is weighing, what did she say it was? Hold on. I guess. Go away. So she was saying that the baby is. So they're estimating right now she's between 7 pounds, 13 ounces and 8 pounds, 12 ounces. And she still has 2 weeks to go, 9 days to go. So she could conceivably push out a butterball turkey at 10 pounds or more.
Yeah.
Or actually, I can't say she's going to push it up.
It will be omitted from her
yes.
body.
It will no longer be there. But we're all really excited, so.
Yeah.
Nikki is doing night stuff, going to do the outline for the Beauty and the Beast inspired book. Cool.
Neat.
That is cool. Like I was saying, I really do enjoy retellings. I know we covered this before, but I enjoy fairy tale retellings and tellings and modernizations. I also especially like when authors revert them back to more of their grim horror basis. The actual scare the living
Grimm stuff.
Yeah, actually scare the living shit out of you in order to make you learn a lesson as a child. There's nothing like being told that, the evil witch in the woods, whatever, is going to eat you. I don't like the whole premises of, besmirching us, but...
Besmirching.
But,
This is sort of the underused word, besmirch.
Besmirch. It is, actually. I don't think I've used it for a while. It's a good word.
To besmirch someone.
Yeah. So my wife likes to play video games, and I usually just sit and watch. She tries to pick games that are, heavy cinematic and have a really good story. when we're like being wholesome and spending time together,
Right.
so that I have something to watch. And so, but it drives her nuts because they'll be going through like the dialogue and some things, and a lot of things she picks are like sci-fi or fantasy. So they tend to break, I'm sure you've noticed, sci-fi and fantasy writers tend to break out the $10 words, that purple prose, a little more often. So every so often there will be a word that just comes up and I'll be like, oh, that's a good word, like jotting it down in the sketchbook.
That's an SAT word.
Yeah, I'm like, that isn't, it's like, ooh, that's definitely an SAT word right there. But I just feel like I haven't used that word in a while. It's kind of like my word of the day. People have word of the day calendars. I don't have to. My wife plays video games in the evenings, not every night, but right now she's working her way through Final Fantasy. So,
the remake or the Final Fantasy
16?
16, yeah.
So we just finished Final Fantasy 16.
Okay.
Just before that, we did Final Fantasy 7, the remake. Like the first part, because it's a 3-parter.
Yeah.
So we did that first part, and then since it wasn't out yet, but it does come out here, I think, in a couple of days or something, she was saying, or the end of the month, I think, is what she was saying, is when it comes out. So we flopped over to 16 just to kind of kill time, and it's perfect, actually, and now flopping over to, so right now, I don't know, she's playing some first-person shooter, I don't know, not really my thing.
You're
I
not
like
into the shooters.
Watch them, and some of them, and they're funny as hell, like to just listen to the people like on the chat, and especially because she's been playing one called Helldiver 2.
I hear good things.
It is good. It is basically Starship Troopers if they had just kind of like kept going with it, like, and turned it into like a video game and stuff like that. It's been pretty good. It's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Just what people say, and like the weird, like the weird advertisements like they had in the movie, in the Starship Trooper movies, like the, did you know, kind of a thing. You can do your part too, kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
So it is pretty funny to watch, but I do other stuff while she's playing first-person shooters, so.
I've been watching Death Stranding because playing it, I'm lost.
So yeah, she played that a couple of years ago, I think. We were still in Phoenix when she played Death Stranding. It's an exceptional story, all the way through.
I hope so. I'm not roped in yet.
It is worth sticking around for the story. Okay. I know it's a lot of hauling packages on your back and falling off of ladders and falling off of cliffs and just falling over in general. Yeah, balancing that was kind of crazy, but it's worth it. Hideo stories are always, in my opinion, worth waiting for, especially because they're so drawn out. It's such a slow burn.
Yeah, slow burn.
But well worth it when it hits. And they have a sequel coming out, or a prequel. Okay, I don't remember, but it's a spinoff. Not spinoff, whatever. But it's another game in that series, and it elaborates on more of the storyline. Oh. And as far as I know, goes into other things like within the world. I think it's a sequel because I'm pretty sure Norman Reedus is in it still.
Okay.
And watching him naked in a shower, even his avatar, his video game avatar, naked in a shower, I'm like, I can sit back and watch this game, no problem.
Okay, so I'm watching like a walkthrough, and it's showing some of the Easter eggs.
Oh, you got things going off?
I have a call coming in.
Don't people know you busy? Clearly they're not watching your YouTube.
I will message her and tell her I am currently indisposed.
I'm live. I'm sorry. That's my niece was, she's like, she's like, I said something. I said, by the way, I said, just everybody watching, my stream just totally got to see me cracking up about you being so fucking pregnant. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
It's because I know I lost it on camera. So, but yeah.
Oh, ads.
Ads, wonderful ads.
25 seconds of you gotta sit through this.
I hate that crap. What kills me about it is I get it with free platforms. All right, I understand. They've got to make up their revenue somehow if they're providing us with a free service. So I don't mind the ads so much for that. I hate when on those free platforms when we're given an ad and we're told you get to skip it, like in 5, it's counts down and you're told you get to skip it. But then it immediately goes to another ad that's 30 seconds and you can't skip it.
And you can't skip it.
And I'm like, these motherfuckers, that bothers me. But okay, again.
They're doing that more and more, I'm noticing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
today,
they are. Especially.
Yeah.
I'm also noticing, which is very interesting, how much more political stuff comes across my YouTube algorithm or anything. Facebook, Insta, doesn't matter what it is, TikTok, whatever. I always get political stuff because I stay involved with political stuff and I get updates for stuff like that. But I'm getting a lot more of political ads leaning towards the other side, especially extreme. I'm getting with my search history, my YouTube history, my everything history, I'm getting conservative Christian, why gays are bad, the horrible Christians, ads. I'm getting full blown ads for that, and I'm like, how am I getting that? I was like,
I would go into your privacy settings.
I did. I went into them. They are set and locked down and ready to go.
Oh.
What I think is happening is a lot of those organizations have a lot of money that they can put behind them and they can push as more of, rather than it being an algorithm based, because I do know that they do that.
Like ads. Yeah.
Yeah, the straight up ads. But it's just killing me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I was like, I have sock accounts for when I am doing political activities, and it's wholly, it's perfectly political. It's not BC doing it. It's,
right.
Me in life being pissed kind of a thing. And also on those accounts, I look up, religious stuff. I look up all sorts of stuff. But I should not be getting those on my BC stuff. Any of it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's I shouldn't be getting any of that crap on any BC account whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
So Heather, starting with getting, your reading spreadsheet up to date. So you keep a reading spreadsheet? That is cool. My wife, she doesn't keep a spreadsheet, but she does keep a list of, what she's read and what genres and how long it took her to read.
I should. I think if I kept a running tally of what I'm reading, I would be more inclined to read.
I'm the same way. It's terrible how infrequently I pick up a book to read anymore. And when I do pick up one, it's either it's usually a nonfiction or a nonfiction craft book, something to do with either art or writing, one of the two, marketing, whatever. I hate this time of night. It's because I have to take my meds right before the stream. And then so my nose,
and your nose turns glowy.
Turns glowy red. So everybody gets to see me with my wonderful Rudolph nose. But if I take my meds any later, I can't go to sleep when I need to. So I'm like, well, everybody gets to see me Rudolph.
Yeah.
It's all good. But anyway,
so maybe you should write the sermon.
Oh, I mean, I can. I don't have to, but I can.
Even if it's just the sermon, and then I write the audience losing their minds.
Okay. Where am I going for sermon? I need to.
That's where I'm struggling.
Where we need to put it?
Well, this would be in chapter 3.
Okay. I didn't know if you were putting like a rousing speech or something elsewhere, so I was just checking.
Well, the first round. This is the first rousing speech.
Gotcha. Okay, let me see.
So maybe it's like talking about like being on the side of the war against hell, and maybe like vampires being the epitome of hell spawn, even though true.
Yeah, I can. You want me to just go ahead and tackle that section now in chapter 3, or do you want me to wait? I can work on this sprint and try and plug in as much as I can into the section.
Okay.
If you want to bounce somewhere else. If not, feel free to, I'll just insert it where as needed later.
Oh, some juncture, the dinner, maybe it's like a church potluck sort of situation.
Oh, for the dinner?
For the dinner?
Oh, I already finished that section.
Oh my God, did you?
Yeah. It's up higher. I even finished an aftermath of like the little after scene.
No, you said the odor that emanated from the viewing room.
Oh, the dinner itself. Okay. No, I just mentioned the dinner in it. Hold on. Where's it?
So.
Yeah, the odor. Here's the odor. I mentioned in here what they ate, but I mean, it can be changed, of course.
Oh, okay.
Because Kyler rushes from the church as fast as they can and proceeds to lose all of the contents of the dinner.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Here we go. So far, we have that there was herb roasted rack of lamb. That's the only thing I specifically noted. Yeah. So herb roasted rack of lamb. But then, yeah, it could be potluck for anything else. Oh my God, I closed the door to the office because my animals were being so annoying. And there is a dog scratching at the office door, and there are 2 cats meowing. I get the cats, like, because their food is in here. This is their food room. But 1, they're not starved.
Right.
And 2, it's been closed for like an hour. Poor thing. It's mostly Spot out there being as vocal as possible. What? You did not. You didn't stop. I mean, I could have stopped in lots of places and been like, this is junk and garbage, but I kept watching because I am a diehard fan. But the latest one is so good because Linda Hamilton was back as Sarah Connor. Aged Sarah Connor, but still as Sarah Connor. And I particularly thought it was good.
Nice.
But yes, the Terminator with Christian Bale was absolute garbage.
Yes.
Pretty much anything after 2, but before the most recent one, garbage. There were some good points here and there. Otherwise, shitty writing.
Shitty writing. And
It's just
everybody is at the whim of shitty writing.
Yeah, everybody's at the whim of shitty writing. Everybody, I mean, in any industry, that's really hard to say together. In any industry,
In any industry.
the fucker's got the door open. Specifically, Spot got the door open. He's the one who opens all the cupboards in the kitchen too. Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's nice. It's letting some air in from the rest of the house, but anyway. Okay, let's go ahead and do this.
Do the third.
This thing. Yeah, go ahead and do the thing, and I will. I'll pop in here on chapter 3 and write what I can of the sermon.
Just the sermon itself, and then
Yeah.
I can work around it.
Yeah, it'll just be all in my color is dialogue. Cut it up as you need it.
Cool.
All right. All right, everybody, let's get ready for another sprint. We are going on to sprint 3 of the evening. It's going to be 20 minutes, and we are starting in 3, 2, 1. Sprint.
Beep. Beep. Beep.
Beep, 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 beep. I was on a.
You were on a roll.
Yeah. So I don't have to do it as often anymore, but I used to down in Arizona. We'd go incognito to some of the more problematic churches, and we'd listen to what they had to say, what they were telling their congregation. It kind of helped us better on the street when we were doing like protection and like stuff like that, when we're volunteering for protection for like clinics or for marches and protests and parades and stuff like that.
Sure.
It kind of gave us an idea of what we were looking at. It also let us put faces to people and names to people that we could look out for that were more problematic than most. So I haven't had to do it since we moved up here because not so much of an issue here. It's not in Portland. Like, it's not really an issue in Portland for the most part. Don't get me wrong. There are still terrible people here too. It's just more once you get out to the rural areas of Oregon that it gets a little dicier.
Little dicier.
Nikki had a good question right as we started the sprint, and I felt so bad. I was like, dang it. And I knew it was going to be too much to just cover in
text.
Yeah, in text. So Nikki, Sako and I, we've been working exclusively with Google Drive. And I'm just going to go ahead and
show them what we're working with.
Yeah.
I think the chapter that we're working on is a great example.
Yes, it is, actually. I was thinking that too. So, let me get this added. Okay. Should be able to see it. Let me just kind of blow it up a little bit so it's a little easier to see. I'm going to close our chat for now, Sako.
Okay.
And let's ignore my captioning. Okay, so this is our Google Doc. I'm going to scroll up to the beginning at first just to kind of give you a snapshot, Nikki, of what it looks like overall. So, of course, we've got what it is that we're working on. And then we went through our outline. Basically, we pulled our, each document is its own document. We don't add to the former document, really. This will get all cleaned up once we're done with every beat point or every beat.
Yeah.
It'll get cleaned up a little bit, edited, and then we will start a whole new copy, and it will be the working, first draft kind of thing. Yeah. So this is a working outline, which is what I call a zero draft.
Yeah.
And
of the same mind.
Yeah. Okay. And so we put our individual beats out. We determine what those are going to be. We kind of see how they're laid out and if they're going to work or if we missed anything. And then we start writing. So
that is basically what I've been solidifying the outline for the past month. Just to make sure the second and third acts make sense.
Yes.
And BC is basically picking a chapter and just going to town on it. I go back in and edit. I read through what she's written and do little copy edits and stuff like that.
Nothing big. Just
big.
Copy edits. Just wanted to put that in there.
So if it is something big, I'll drop a line and actually talk to her about it before I make any changes.
I have that habit of just barreling along and been like, oh, hey, I did this thing. Is it cool? Does it work? What do you think? And if it has to be taken out, it has to be taken out. It's no big deal. There's a great example in this section.
Yeah.
Here we go. Whole big. So all of this green section here is what I wrote initially. And you can see over here some of the notes that Sako has put in there and what she's chosen to delete or take out. So as she was reading through to do line edits, basically on this section, she realized there's a whole section here
on cold cream.
That's really not needed. It's on cold cream. It's my brain was in the scene, going with my ADHD-ness on what my brain would come up with as remembering this person's adopted mother.
Sure.
Kind of a thing. So, and that's it. We just kind of puke stuff onto the page, and then we go back and edit each other.
Seems like that need to happen at this stage.
Yes.
I feel like, because it gets us more in tune with the mood of the story and the voice, and we find a groove. And then when we actually get to actually writing it, then we end up with prose.
Exactly. It gets us in the voice of the character. It gets us in the voice of the overall story. It also helps just give Sako and I little tidbits of backstory for the characters that it doesn't make it in there, but it's things we know.
Always, yeah.
Yeah. Now we know that Kyler, if we're going to keep it, that Kyler's got a whole thing with cold cream from their past, from their foster mom. So, but yeah, so this is good. This is basically how it's set up. But yeah, as you were saying, we go beat by beat, and you'll be able to see it here in a moment. We exclusively write under each beat, that section. And let me get down. See, we have technically 2 more beats in this one. However, we kind of put them together in this first one. But here's
while we accomplish the beats, I want to cross through them, do a strikeout.
Okay. I don't mind.
Just in the sense that I don't want to lose the word count, but we need a checkbox, basically.
Yeah.
Saying, yes, this has been covered.
Yeah, it's been covered.
This point has been made. Yeah.
This point's been made. It's been covered. It's, so we kind of need to feel. So anyway. But yeah, so this has, sections where here I wrote in purple. Or I think. Or you wrote. I can't remember. This is before I was bouncing around with colors at first. So. But here you see what. Usually I'm purple. But I kind of jumped in with green.
I'm this green. Yeah. It's interesting that it shows up the way it does on your screen.
I have it. I have my settings set for that.
Yeah. My so it comes up teal on my screen.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just it's the dark mode on my computer. It changes a lot of things. But yeah, here you can see we wrote under this beat, and then we dropped down, and I had a vision or whatever. I could see the scene for Kyler turning down this particular gig that gets presented to them, so I wrote it. And here's a more section where Sako just went in and was like, yeah, I think we need this here.
I don't need this. Yeah.
It was cool. That's what you do when you edit.
But those, like I said, those scenes need to happen. Just so that you can get the wigglies out.
Exactly. So here's where Sako was mentioning that we were working on during this previous sprint. So this is our beat, which is under chapter 3. You don't have to call it that. It's not necessarily chapters.
Yeah. So this is for our reference more than anything. The end product may just be a number, or and some of these beats will get shuffled around into new chapters.
Or expanded on.
Or
removed entirely. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what Sako was saying is this is a great section to be able to see where Sako started writing. I promise this is her in the green.
Yeah.
This time. So she started writing, but not being raised, going to Christian church and not being raised around Christianity. You lucky winch.
I have no frame of reference.
She doesn't have enough frame of reference to write a sermon, first of all, from a preacher in general, but it's specifically in this instance, this preacher, like, claiming hell and brimstone, fire and brimstone and vile vampires, and let's hunt them down and wipe them off the face of the earth. Right. So she didn't really have that reference. So that's what we were talking about before the sprint, where I said, hey, okay, I'll just pop in here and I'll just write the sermon and I'll
work around the sermon and basically have the crowd getting swept up in the sensationalism.
Yeah. So yeah, she's got it here, and then, I'm just finishing up, and she can move this around or take whatever out she needs or put in different punctuation, whatever. She can move it around and write it as much as she wants. And then, like, basically, as soon as I finish this with, I don't know, maybe a couple more paragraphs.
Okay.
As soon as I finish this section, she can go in and just to this section and start. As a matter of fact, as I was writing, I could see where she was up here.
Basically making the lead in.
Yeah.
For the sermon.
Exactly. She was at a point where we had just, like, been, like, here was not here yet.
Yeah.
This section was not here yet. But she needed to do the lead up to the sermon, like the crowd hushing a little bit, all the usual things, the indicators. And then the sermon itself. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you can go back, Nikki, and get a really good experience. Skim it, of course. But Sako and I, when we wrote Flambeau a couple years ago, we used the same method. Mm-hmm. And it worked incredibly well for us. And you can kind of, we walk.
First try too.
I know, it was crazy.
We are very lucky in that our styles are very similar. I get a little purpley from time to time because that's how I try to get into the horror part.
And so, I get a little rambly at times because ADHD brain just goes off on it. It's weird what I can connect together. Ask my wife. But yeah, so if you want, under the live tab on my channel, I think Sako, you did too, kept them documented under your lives. But you can go in there and you can see from our idea all the way through to the book release, we live streamed it all previously, just as we've done this one. So feel free to go in.
I think I still have the playlist of Flambeau.
Okay, cool. That would be even more helpful. You can skim it, of course. But
yes, but we crowdsourced everything.
Yeah, a lot.
We crowdsourced a lot, especially at the conceptual stage. And we did storyplanner.com. So we ran it through a couple of grinders, basically, and really kind of like solidified our idea before we started technically outlining. So we're coming at it a little differently this time because we don't need a site to walk us through how to outline anymore.
And we haven't crowdsourced as much. Excuse me. Much this time around, but that's also because
we did a lot of our brainstorming off the air.
Yeah.
And in a way, we tried to, especially when we first started streaming this, we tried to get validation for some of the choices we were making. And
what do y'all think? Does this work?
does this work?
Yeah.
And poor Mint.
Oh, Minty.
Mint Ghost was so Mint Ghost read Flambeau, and so felt like they were getting spoilers for the next book, and we were like, oh no. That's not what we wanted to do.
It's like, but no. So yeah, there's that. Also, with this one, we don't need to crowdsource as much. We have a solid foundation for the world already built. We have
the world is already built. Yeah.
You know, we're adding things in and expanding the world because it was very localized. We're expanding characters that were in the first book. It's always best. I'm just going to say that now from a series writer's point of view, unless you are specifically writing something where each book is from a different character's point of view, and then your final book is from everyone's. Unless you're doing that kind of a format, which is a thing, and there are some writers that do it so well, but
we are not that writer.
George R.R. Martin does it exceptionally well, where he can change point of view based on each chapter, each sub chapter, honestly, and his point of view switch it's beautifully done with transitions and everything. It's gorgeous. Anyway, but I'm not that kind of writer. Sako says she's not that kind of writer.
Yeah,
that's not us. So, but yeah, so you just carry through not all of your characters, but some of your characters. Like for instance, we're using Kyler, who was our psychic, our seer in the first book, who was important to the plot and was a very important character to have, but was really a side character. They were a supporting character the whole time, and now they're lead in this one. That's cool. Fill your water bottle. Hydrate or die straight. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's how we've done it. We send notes back to each other. We occasionally will jump on and
God bless the chat option.
Yes.
Because
this right here.
When we were brainstorming, we didn't do it in a chat. We did it like in a document, writing over each other and like.
Yeah. So this chat is great. I mean, you still have to go back and you still have to write things out, but you can do the back and forth.
But here, the back and forth and the problem solving,
yes,
is done in the chat.
And as needed, we can just pop on a call or, FaceTime or whatever it is that we have to do and in order to talk something out. Like sometimes we'll just pop in a StreamYard just in a little...
Just in a green room.
Yeah. Just in a green room chatting, basically. So that we can be like, okay, I'm not describing this well. Let me lay it out for you. So yeah, that's essentially how all of it has been done.
What she's doing is laying the skeleton, and then I'm gonna go through and add the meat.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly it. The beats themselves, like the outline itself, I mean, some people call that their skeleton, but it's really not. It's what you write in between your beats is your skeleton.
Well, that's how we do it anyway.
That's how we do it. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say it to us. It's really not for us. I go in and just...
The beats I would call like the nervous system.
Yeah, they tell things where to go.
Right. There's a chance that one of these beats might get split up into 2 chapters.
If it needs to.
I'm
just scrolling so people can see as we're chatting. This is a good of showing where this is my skeleton that I've put in here that that Sako, eventually will be able to go back through. And you can see I ended the beat where it was and then immediately picked up with the next beat, which is the next scene, although it's just a continuation of the previous scene.
Right.
Yeah. And so I made sure that from here, from my ending line of that beat to my beginning line of the next beat, that I did the transition for it.
Yeah.
Some of the beats aren't quite as seamless aren't quite as seamless as that.
Especially when we first started. And I think there are a couple of scenes where there is half a scene.
Oh yeah. Let me go down just a little bit. Let's see. I write the way I write when I'm doing skeletons is I write until one, either I don't have time left in my life, in my day to do it.
Uh-huh.
And then I just leave off, or I write until I exhaust the scene in my head, and it's like pulling teeth to get things at this stage. Later stages, I gotta pull teeth no matter what. But at this stage, yeah, see, here we go. Here's a scene that I started. I didn't get it finished for whatever reason. I was working on it. So Sako and I decided that we would highlight or indicate, basically, and
what
I know
needed finishing.
Yeah, what needs finishing. So I just said, hey, I'm going to highlight that stuff in like blue highlighter if it needs to be finished after this. And that's it. I know it's not blue really on my screen, but again, that's dark.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's a bright neon blue.
Yeah. It's that typical highlighter neon blue that comes with like Word and stuff like that. But yeah, there are a couple of these scenes.
It's like bright blue.
Yeah. Let's just, this is going to kill me for a second, but I can turn it right back on. Here, there's our bright yellow. Here's our bright blue.
There's our bright blue.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So that's my view. I don't have dark view on my, which kind of makes me sad, but.
Oh, you could. It's easy. You just go out to Google Chrome, go out to your extensions for Chrome extensions, and type.
There used to be one, but it didn't do it for everything.
Oh, see, mine does it for everything. It's called Dark Reader.
Oh, okay.
And you can go in and you can go in and individualize your sites. Like, so when I'm in GIMP, I don't want my whole computer to be dark mode. Or if I'm in like Canva doing something, I don't want it in dark mode. So
you can turn it off.
Yeah. So I can turn it on and off as needed. But I can also set this one that it's only for, like, if this said Canva, only for Canva, I could select this here and make it a light mode.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. So you can go in and do stuff like that. But this is my favorite one, and it's free, and it's never failed me. So, and it's just in Chrome extensions.
Cool.
But yeah. So, I mean, that's essentially, what you're getting to look at here is places where, and sometimes, like here, we put a note in, like I put a note to myself to when I continue writing this that I need to have this mention here, which actually needs to take out because we have
a different. Yeah, we can fix that.
Well, I am going to, for right now, I'm going to highlight it in red. Okay. Just so I know I need to mention what we changed to in here, but take this out. Okay. And that's just saving me work later, so I don't have to rewrite stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all of that. And during the sprint, Heather finished reading the spreadsheet and started editing a chapter of the novelette.
Yay!
Nice. You will definitely have to tell us more about the novelette. But
Yes.
just to let everybody know, there's only like 4 minutes left in the stream.
Oh, yeah, I guess there is.
Yeah. So I am going to, if it's okay with you, Sako, I'm going to run a real quick sprint. Okay, let me stop that screen.
Like a little 10-minute.
Just so I can finish off that.
Okay, great.
It'll be like an 8-minute sprint because it's the first timer I have available.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do that, and then we'll come in. We'll wrap up probably pretty quick, and then that'll be it for the evening, y'all. So let's get ready to 8-minute sprint in 3, 2, 1. Sprint, y'all. Beep, 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 beep. All right. Okay, so that was an 8-minute sprint, so I could just finish up something. Like, I was like, if I walk away from it right now, I am not going to finish that stupid thing. I'm doing well that I could even remember the sermon to begin with.
Yeah.
So that I could change it up. I mean, it's hugely paraphrased. This was like...
Oh, no.
40,
paraphrasing is perfect.
Yeah. This was like the original one that I had to listen to, unfortunately. It was like 45 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Of that. And then there were other things, dancing and singing and all of, like, people talking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the dancing and the singing that I'm going to add.
I like the dancing and the singing part, usually, but yeah, I need to darken it up a little bit more because it needs to be a little more, like...
visceral?
Yeah, it needs to be a little more visceral. It needs to be a little more horrific than what it was. Also, I just wanted a little bit more like the speech from The Kingsman that was done at the show. I don't know if you saw The Kingsman, but it was incredibly good. Don't watch the second one. It's rubbish. I think there's a third one even, so I'm not even going there. But the first one was cool, quite clever, an interesting take on, as they say in the movie, My Fair Lady, or Pretty Woman, kind of a thing. So, but there's a speech in it that's really good, and it's like most people's favorite scene in the whole movie because there's a huge fight scene that takes place in the church after that. So yeah, I'll darken it up a whole bunch, but that should suffice for now.
Cool.
All right, everybody. So that brings us to the end of today's stream. And then some. We are just a bit over, but it's okay. I am really, really grateful for everybody that hung out with us today, asked questions. Sako and I like to talk about, like, the book, first of all.
Which
and we
is
like
why we do this on stream, you know? Like...
We literally, I mean, that's why I put, like, in my titles at least, that's why I put how to co-author a book series. Like, I want people to realize that, one, we're co-authoring, two, we're teaching people how to do series, and, you know, also talking about, you know, just like writing in general.
Yeah.
So bring on your questions, any questions you want, even if you know, think you word them weird, because you don't. I know exactly what you meant.
Knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah. I was like, oh, crap, she just asked. So I was like, we'll talk about it afterwards. All right, y'all. Sako, do you want to do your little outro?
If you like this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this one, you can catch us on my channel next week, a week from today, where we will continue working on this sequel. You might want to subscribe and maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that YouTube actually notifies you when we go live. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Absolutely, weirdos. So for now, keep writing and don't forget to break a pen.